Steel is the backbone of industry, and its production is vital to the nation. The great steel works of Britain depend on a constant supply of iron ore, the raw material of steel. To keep this complex industry in full production, British ironstone must be obtained to feed the blast furnaces as economically as possible. As compared with foreign ores, its iron content is low. The ironstone deposits in Northamptonshire lie under varying depths of overburden, and various machines have been developed through the years to shift it economically. 50 years ago, the first long jib shovel in the world was used in the Corby quarries for this purpose. It is still working there today and can remove overburden to a depth of 35 feet and has a dumping radius of 50 feet. The deeper the ironstone lies below the surface, the greater becomes the problem of removing the overburden, because in economic quarrying it is essential to use only one machine to expose the ironstone bed for blasting. Although the seam of ironstone is extensive in area, it is only about 7 feet thick, another reason for raising it as cheaply as possible before it is loaded onto trucks to be sent to the blast furnaces. To reach the ironstone in the deeper quarries, larger shovels were brought into service from time to time. A shovel digs up from below, so the height to which it can dig is along the quarry from one working position to another. The Americans had a giant dragline, the biggest in the world at the time, so one was purchased and put to work in the Corby quarries. But even that was not large enough. Something still bigger was needed. The solution of the problem was necessarily limited. There came a time when even the large shovels could not work economically, and double handling of the overburden in two operations was inevitable. In this quarry, where the depth was 80 feet, to move the overburden across to the spoil bank opposite, with the machinery available, 2 diggers and a train of wagons were needed. The loaded train, carrying 75 tons at a time, had to travel a full mile round the quarry, dump its load on the spoil bank, and then return empty. A slow and laborious operation and wasteful of time, manpower, and machinery. A new method of stripping the overburden was needed, and much time was spent in finding a solution to the problem. All the principles of muck shifting were considered. The dragline, which scoops up from above and can therefore operate to a greater depth than a shovel, a tubular jib for lightness, a greater dumping radius with a much longer jib. A machine